welcome you back to the next episode of Between the Mics with Chris and Alicia. Today we got a really, really special guest, a superstar in PR, which I'm really excited about because we've done everybody from marketers, owners, graphic designers, but we've never really had a PR person.
Never had a PR person, and I love PR. My background is PR, so I'm stoked.
Yes, 100%. And not only is she a PR expert, but she's also rubbed elbows with some celebrities. Like she does some pretty high profile people throughout her career. So we really can kind of geek out on that and really kind of get the idea of how PR should work and merge with marketing. So I'd like to introduce Jackie Zuk. So Jackie, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and who it is you are, what you do, and
yeah, thanks, Chris. That was a great intro, by the way.
I tried.
He's the hype man of the whole show.
Yeah, I need like that.
Like what? That's all he does.
I love it. You always need that. Always need that. And I'm also like, my children had all the germs, so I'm getting over a cold. So that's why my voice is a little. You guys have kids, you understand. So just putting it out there.
I know. I just got the email of like, there's strep in the classroom. I'm like, that's great. Thanks. Just in time for April break. Fantastic.
Totally. Right. It's habits. So, thank you for that awesome introduction. So my background is in PR, and PR is how we show up on bigger platforms in the world, television, magazines, radio. Like, how do you get yourself ready for those platforms and then elevate to the next avenue, So I would really say that, and also speaking engagements now are considered a form of PR. So I guess, like, do you guys want me to explain how I fell into it a little, or what would be the best way?
I would love to know, because it is, I think, a super hard job. It is only meant for like those that are the persistent and hungry and the non-quitters.
Yeah, because there's a lot of no's.
It's a mixed industry. I actually love collaborating with other publicists. I really do. But it's definitely a sticky industry that if you're not on your A game, the opportunity is lost for sure, So I am a New Yorker first, and I think we all connected on this. And I've lived in Mass now since 2014. And I didn't know anybody when I moved here outside of my boyfriend. I took a leap of faith. The company I worked for closed. And I started a podcast in my guest room closet. And I would interview people and I would promote what they do. And then they were like, well, what else can you do? And it kind of led to like placing clients in New York Fashion Week and getting them on television and really getting them celebrity partnerships and that sort of, it just fell naturally. I can't even explain, we all fall into our things, And so I was like, wow, there's something here. Like, I'm just going to ride the wave. And so that's kind of how I fell into it. I just naturally did.
That's awesome.
Okay. It's crazy. Right. And it's so true, though. Like, sometimes you don't really plan. Like, my son's kind of getting ready to go into college, and everyone keeps asking, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And he has this blank look on his face. And I remember myself at the time. He's like, I have no idea what I want to do.
Yeah, I still don't know what I want to do.
Yeah, me either. At 46 years old. So, but it's kind of one of those things that's interesting, when you kind of start getting a groove in regards to what you're doing, how almost a job forms around you. So, that's pretty interesting.
What is your favorite part about PR?
I think I love the excitement. Granted, I've had many declines in my life, but I think when you get a yes, you're like, oh my God, the momentum's there. Like, I need to keep doing this, there's been plenty of no's, and I always am open and transparent about that. But when there's a yes, it's like, yes, that means there's more to come. There's more opportunity. So.
I love that you say that about the no's. When Alicia first started, I remember trying to just talk with different mentors, and those that at least appeared successful in their businesses were thriving. And I remember talking to one or two mentors, and they made it seem like it just fell into their lap and it just succeeded right away. And there was never a challenge. There was never a wall they had to climb over. There was never a no. And then when I went down the path and I started hitting the no's, I automatically felt like, well, what am I doing wrong? So I think the fact that you're sharing, there are a ton of no's. And the only reason that we keep going, one, we're crazy, but we believe that there's more yeses than no's around that next corner. So when you think back to when you first started, where was there a moment when you kind of took a step back and been like, do I want to keep doing this?
So I'll use this as an example. So I went to California to do, I don't know if you guys watch Selling Sunset, like with Jason, Mary, and Amanda. So I got invited to do a cover shoot with them out there. And it was an amazing experience. Like everything felt aligned, all the things. Right before that happened, I lost all the electricity in my house. Like I had clients onboarding that were declining and contracts weren't coming through. And I'm like, what the hell? And then overnight, that opportunity fell into my lap. And it's like, you just don't know. Like, what is the saying? Like, shit has to hit the fan, and then you're like, then the door opens, right? It's like, that's where that is, I feel like.
Yeah, that's Chris's statement. He should just get that tattooed. And I just look at him like, who is throwing shit at a fan? Like, who is it? Like, and why are they still doing it?
Well, it's the disaster that happens after it hits the fan. That's the point. It's like, but it's true. It happens with everyone, right? All right. So I did have one question. I kind of want to bring it, I guess, back to basics. And the reason why I ask is because we get this question all the time, right? Because we're a marketing company. A lot of times we say, hey, marketing is doing great, but I think we can kind of move it to the next level if we bring in PR. And a lot of times the clients are like, well, aren't you guys doing PR? And it's, in my opinion, completely different. So can you just kind of give me a basic definition of what you feel marketing is versus PR, and like, what are the benefits of both?
I love this question because I explain this to clients too. I'm like, you kind of need some marketing and branding in place before you see me. Like, I think there's a confidence that people need when they're ready for PR. They have to have internal work. Like, I really am spiritual, and I'm like, you need to work on the inner stuff because there's going to be judgment around the more eyes that are on you. There's going to constantly be just more eyes on you. I mean, that's really what it is. That's what PR is, right? So you need the foundation and the confidence in your brand before you come to me. Like, you do, because I'm the person that's going to take it to the next level, but I need you to feel confident in how you're showing up and how your brand's representing itself. You know? So I think that that's a great way of explaining it. Like, you need all those pieces in place, the messaging, the brand alignment. That's your guys' zone of genius. You know what I'm saying? But like, once that's in play, then you present it to me, and then we can present it to like the networks and the magazines and the people that don't know about it yet. Because like, social media now is considered a form of PR now. Honestly, it is, because it's free PR. But I really feel like the old ways of doing things are coming back more and more. Like, there's still so much value in putting a stamp on your brand that you were on like a network that's well known, like ABC or CBS, or, it doesn't matter if it's affiliates or anything. It's the fact that you did it. Yeah. So that's my advice around that.
Okay. Yeah, I always see. So we partner a lot with PR teams, and the clients that reap the largest rewards when they invest in PR, and PR and marketing are an investment, a long-term investment, are the ones that have someone on the executive level that's willing to be that spokesperson in front and center and lead that authority piece, and then take that marketing and amplify it. So you get on Fox News, for example, and that's great. But then if there's no structure in place to continue sharing that, then it serves its purpose in a very short-lived moment. So like, how do you navigate that with clients that love the idea of PR, but they're not actually really ready behind the scenes?
Yeah. So I'll use this as an example. Like, I've had clients I placed on TV, and they went back, like, emotionally, they couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
So like, literally, like, that was so hard for me because they got so many eyes on them and they were ready, but they did not want to be in front of the camera anymore. Like, it really, like, it was not for them. And I think that's such a hard part in my business, because like, I did my job, but like, if you're not ready for that, like, I can't force that either. Right. So I think that that's where like the internal work really comes in, and I push that hard with people. Like, you need to do that, because you're going to get more and more people interested in what you're doing that you don't know, that are going to start reaching out to you and say that they've seen you and all these things. And it's like, are you ready for that momentum? So it's intimidating, and that's where like I commend it, so.
Is there any like telltale signs of like, now you're ready for PR? Because I think sometimes people struggle between, can I do the PR myself? Like you said, being your own advocate on, social media. But is there a certain point in time where somebody should start thinking like, man, I really need to get PR involved in this versus just doing the basics? Because I think some people struggle with that.
That's a great question. So I've seen it go,
You've been saying that a lot, and I've been having a lot of them. You got to kind of switch it up, like.
And there's not
very
even
rarely
like
do you not have
he's
a good
not even
question.
looking at chat, because when we first did these podcasts, you were using ChatGPT for your questions. Christopher, I'm very impressed.
Hey, what can I say? I'm maturing.
No, it's so, but you know what? Once you're in flow of conversation, it's so much easier. Like,
Yeah.
I can understand that 100%. Like, I can understand it.
Yeah,
So
I
no
think
judgment ever, you know?
I think a lot of it comes also down to like questions that I had when I first started out, right? Because I know a lot of people that listen to this podcast, they're all ends of the spectrum, from beginning to, CMOs. And I remember first starting out of like having these kind of questions, like, because even I didn't understand like PR, the difference. Like I remember we started working with clients and they're like, hey, we need to get PR involved. And I was like, can't we just do that for them? And it's like, once you start getting into it, it's totally different.
I was like, I want nothing to do with it.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling. Sorry, keep going.
No, it's totally fine. So can you repeat the question, Chris?
I knew you were going to ask that. I know. Yeah. So a lot of times people, they struggle of when they should be taking that next step into
when they're ready
PR.
for PR, when they're ready for PR.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
No
just need
problem.
you to start going. I'm with you. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think there are two different types of people ready for PR. Like there's somebody that's starting a second business that has experience and just feels confident to know what they've built. They're building a second business. They kind of know the main things of what they should do in their marketing, and they're ready for their next phase. That's usually like the immediate, right? Then there's people that you're not probably ready for PR if you're launching a business for the first time. I'm just like, it's just what it is, Yeah. I do think there are influencers and people of status that have the confidence and a big personal brand that if they do launch a business, like they are ready for PR. They've already been in front of the cameras. They already understand what that is. But I usually say like practice as a small business, like start doing videos on your set by yourself. Build some confidence, get some feedback from people that are watching you on video, because I think that that's a huge thing. That's part of what I do in my media training with clients before we air them. Like, are you camera ready?
Right.
Like there are going to be things like I can prep you all day. Like I'm not the anchor at the end of the day. They're not going to ask you the exact same questions that we're discussing. Like I'll send them the pitch all day, but it's their segment. So those are things to think about too. Like I would say like, if you're starting a business and everything's new and fresh for the first time, like start with video marketing and like getting yourself confident, right? Yeah. If you're already have a lot of camera experience or even some, and you have this confidence and inner knowing you're ready, like usually meet some people and you just know they're ready. Like that's kind of how I justify it.
How do you tap into, you mentioned influencers. So influencers, when a client throws that word out there, it falls into this marketing versus like PR piece. So like how do you approach influencers from a PR perspective to help launch brands? And is it something that should more companies really be tapping into?
So I think influencers from a marketing perspective, this is my take from lived experience, right? I think when you tap into the celebrity realm, that's for PR people. Like I think if day-to-day marketing, you can get the small influencers to partner with you, support the brands. They have great turnovers. I think they call them micro influencers. Yeah. I don't even know. I get overwhelmed with all the names, but they obviously have different categories, right? But I think the day-to-day 10K and under influencer is much more reachable from a day-to-day marketing company. Like I do. I think they'll respond. I think it's reciprocative. I think once you hit a certain realm of like 20K and up, like you should probably find a PR company to target them. They have an engaged audience. They might not respond to your emails. They might not respond to your DMs, but a PR company has an inner contact or something that can turn over those relationships. So that's kind of what I've seen the difference over time.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it like, should companies be really pulling that lever?
So I have a mixed feeling about this.
I do too. That's why I'm asking.
At this point, I mean, I think it's hard too, right? Because you get the really big names and they post, and sometimes it doesn't generate. Like I've seen it, so like I think you do it knowing that you're putting a stamp that you did a collaboration with that person, so you remarket it and say, we had this person using our product and this is what it did for them. So I think don't go into something, even with media now, like I've had people come to me that said, like, I've been on the Today Show and I haven't made any sales. Well, did you market it correctly after the fact? Like,
Right.
did you know what I mean? Like, I ask these people these things all the time. Like, you can't, just because you were placed, it never guarantees
Yeah.
ROI.
Right.
You know, so I think that those are really important things to think about, which is why marketing companies in place with the PR is so key. Like, we'll create the opportunities all day for you, but we can't guarantee the ROI. And that's what's been really hard in my job.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to ask a question, and it's funny. I'm literally sitting here listening. I'm thinking of these things. It's one thing we never do, right? We never ask about budget, right? So I'm going to start asking about these things because I think a lot of people, when they start getting into it, they really should have a basic idea of what it would take to get the needle to move. So in your experience, what would you say from somebody just starting out? Like, what should a budget that should be set aside? What would be a great one to see results? And then you can even take it even further and say, okay, look, if you're a larger company, I would at least have X amount of dollars.
Can I like dovetail on that one though for a second? Because I feel we just had this conversation in the last Momentum Exchange, which everyone thinks that they can do it.
Yeah.
So they think like I took a PR, like I just said my background was PR. That's what I went to school for. I am not you. I cannot do what you do, right? So I know to never say I'm a PR person. But there's a lot of people that say, I took a PR course, I'm a PR person, or I know how to do social media, I'm a marketer. So how do you take the people that have these AI resources and they have this knowledge and then put the investment behind it? Like how do you balance all of that? So that's a loaded question, but
I think you guys get this too. It's a relationship business. Like you can use AI all day.
Yeah.
You're not going to get replies to emails as quickly if you don't have the connection. It's just the facts. Like from lived experience now, like you can use it all day. Like I just really have found that like if you don't have those relationships, you're going to the back burner unless it presents itself. You know, like it's just, you can have a great pitch and sometimes it is. There will be a one-off hit. Like I've seen that before. So like I do want to commend the people that do get in, but I do think long-term, like I think you're looking at minimum of 30K and up, like minimum starting, you know, like for real investment and turnover, like that's where it's got to start to really make results happen.
And what about a timeline? Like 30K a month, 30K spread over the year? Like,
these are great questions. I think it depends. It depends on where the company's at. Like, I think if you're starting if you do 3 to 6 months and you got 30 to 40K, like that's a great starting point. I really think you can start getting momentum there.
Yeah.
If you want to like in marketing, it's consistency and you need to stick with it for a long game. Like you can't get one placement. This is for me too, what I've started to do more long-term with clients. I don't want a one-off client that wants a one-time placement. Not for me. Like I want a client I'm invested with and wants to see long-term results from the work we've been doing, you know? So like the longer you stay, the better the results. Like that's really what it is. Are there events though? So I've done a lot of event PR in my career. Event PR for a one-off thing makes sense. It's a one-time thing. You're pitching. It's a campaign for a period of time. Like it makes sense, you know, but something I do want to discuss that I found more and more now is alcohol brands that I've actually partnered with and done. It's very hard to get media attention on it now. So I feel like, you know, there's all these things now with so much sobriety and so many like judgment around alcohol that it's been a very hard thing to sell media with.
That's that's super interesting though, because that's a huge trend of, I don't know, I'm going to butcher the statistic. I do this at everything, but they were saying that like the millennial generation, we would go out to bars and clubs. Like we were a party generation, and the following generation, whatever the generation's called now, is like, they're swapping the bars for like Pilates bar class. And they're going to like midnight Pilates classes, or they're going to bed early so that they can hit their 4 a.m. fitness class. That culture of fitness and health and like mocktails is massive. And like drinking, being a dork is cool. I've learned this now from my middle schooler. Like that's a cool thing now. And not drinking is like really cool.
So it's interesting you say that, because so me and my wife, we just went and did one of those paint bar things, and it was interesting because there was a group of people. Like I would go out to the bars with my friends. That's what they were doing, and I mean there was a bar there, so they were obviously drinking while painting. Their paintings were amazing once they really started getting going. But it's just interesting that the combination between the two. I don't know. It's funny as you start listening to these things, like I never even put really two and two together, but you're right. Like very rare when you see an alcohol commercial, even with the Super Bowl, there wasn't a ton of them. Like there was some, but not many as what you used to see.
Totally.
So that's impacting like the PR perspective. Like how are you pivoting in that approach of like, it's a different consumer buyer now?
It is. I mean, I've had 2 clients in that space. And so from experience, like there are one-off media outlets that will do it. Like I have relationships with it. They're promoting events. They're a radio show where they're promoting like an announcement. Like I think it depends on the relationships, exactly what I said earlier, right? But even sometimes like, especially for television, like you guys were even saying with the Super Bowl, that's just been the harder sell. So I don't lean towards TV for alcohol promotions. I really go more towards like written articles and radio.
Is TV even really a thing anymore? And the reason why I asked that is like, we were watching a show the other day and for an extra $1.99, it eliminated the commercial. And I was like, I'll pay $2 to not have to listen to that crap.
Totally.
Is that like even a thing anymore where?
So now all the networks are doing like on demand where you can rewatch or go live stream, or they had to do it. They have YouTube channels now. Like that's where their world's going.
Yeah, that's wild. Okay, so take us through, you mentioned a few clients that you work with, they get placement. So your ideal client, that long-term, success story, can you kind of walk us through what that looks like and what your clients have been able to do for their business because working and integrating your PR?
Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of experience in the fashion realm, so I can use those as an example.
Yeah.
One of the clients was a designer, had a goal of like dressing clients at the Emmys or dressing clients at different events. And when I first really started to do PR, we placed some of her gowns to dress some of the producers at the daytime Emmys. So we flew to California. She gifted the dresses to the clients. Like that was just an incredible experience. We got her into some clothing stores. She started to get TV attention. Like we worked together for like a year.
Wow.
And it was really awesome.
That's awesome. And you just came back from the Grammys too.
Yeah, totally.
Just like, yeah.
It's like another day.
And you had a beautiful custom outfit too that a designer designed for you.
Yes. We're all in the same circle. So I love this. So we all know the same people we're talking about. I love this.
How is that experience? Like, so you went for your client, you got her placed in the Grammys. From a PR perspective, like what role did you really help support being like boots on the ground there?
So I helped with obviously logistics leading up to the day of, like what time it could be on site, what we needed to be on site for, like how many things can we bring, like especially prepping as we were meeting people. We had a sheet with the names of the people that were attending with like what if they were nominated or if they weren't. And that was really insightful. And I would help prep, me and Laura would talk about it. And it was really cool. I think the thing that I'm really good at is like making them calm in a space where there's a lot of high energy that's coming in the room. I mean, there were so many people, it was swarming all day, like no breaks from 10 to 5. And you had to be on the whole time.
Yeah. And
so I think that was really where I was the most helpful. Like I knew her brand. She could take a break and go get a drink of water or like get a snack for 5 minutes, like even though I needed her there, I needed to give her that space to also take time for herself. And so I was able to also be her spokesperson when she needed to leave, so I think that those were key things as well.
That's fantastic.
So just to give a shameless plug. So if you guys didn't see the episode with Laura Macaron, she's actually the individual that Jackie's talking about. So it's one thing we always like to see is like we have a lot of people that were within our network that really just kind of work together to kind of move the needle forward. So if you guys watch that episode, you'll kind of see it from Laura's perspective in regards to what she had to do, the results and whatnot. So it's just always so interesting to see it from the client's point of view, as well as the provider, I guess you could say, or
I'll
PR
tell a
expert.
fun story about Jackie though. So Jackie and I have always gone to different networking events. This is like, we're all in the same like sphere of influence and community. And I think it was last year that I went up to you and I was like, "You're Jackie, right?" And you were like, "Yeah." you're Alicia. And I was like, I don't know who you are, but I just keep seeing you everywhere. You're everywhere. I see your name. I see you at these events. And she goes to me, same. We have got to get together because there is like an energy field here. And that's honestly how it started, was like, this goes back to personal brand. We both knew of each other, but we never actually had a conversation until that moment. And then it was like sparks and butterflies, but that was
it totally was.
Okay, so we always tap into AI all the time. It's no longer a trending word for me. It's just a word like TV, if you will. So how has AI impacted, I'm going to go 2 questions. How has AI impacted your business, like actual next on scene business? And then how has it impacted how you handle like client exposure now?
I love this. Okay, so copywriting was never my thing. Like writing press releases was never my thing. I'm a brain dumper of all my ideas. And so I have loved brain dumping my ideas for pitches and having them help me jazz up my pitches. Truly, like I love it for that. I tell everyone all the time, like, utilize it for it, because it'll make your grammar better. Granted, AI needs grammar edits. I'm all over that too. But like at least baseline, like it's pretty good, all things considered. So I have loved it for that reason. I love it for content, like for captions, like, because like I said, I'm like you guys, like I'm a brain dumper. Like this is what I want. Help me like organize the shit out of this, you know? So like I loved it for those reasons. Yeah, that's really honestly like what I use for data. A lot of copy. Like that's what I love it for.
Yeah. That's like super powerful. So this morning before this podcast, I had a whole bunch of ideas brained up in my mind of, I create strategies at the beginning of the year for my clients. And then after Q1, my job is to analyze and see, are we still on track or what do we need to adjust? Because things are happening so fast. So I created this AI agent of like, this is all the context of the brand. These are all the things that the sales team actually have asked for and need. These are the barriers. These are our competitors. Like I need a 2-page summary on where we are and where we're missing the boat. Reddit is like now on my mind a lot. So like, how is Reddit filtering in versus in December, it wasn't on my mind. So I love that you're like, you use it to brain dump. It is fascinating from a creative perspective of like, how do you pull all of those into a resource that someone in the C-suite can use and actually implement or understand. So that's working while I'm here. Right?
It's like amazing. I think it's amazing, but it's like scary at the same time. Honestly, it is a little, you know,
it's like letting go of the steering wheel. It's like
just 100%, 100%. And that's even like for me too, like I never trusted 100% as no one should, honestly. Like I'm like, for me, I give it the ideas, but I'm still like exactly what we said. I'm still editing. I'm still grammar fixing, but like, at least for the baseline, like pretty good.
There's a human loop in there.
100%.
Yeah. I always say this on every episode because one day I hope Chris will actually take me up on it. But I watch Masterclass. Do you subscribe to Masterclass?
I've watched a few of them.
Oh, talk about something while I find you this episode. This latest one, it doesn't talk about AI as like doom and gloom. Okay, the new rules of wealth. That's the Masterclass. Okay. I haven't learned anything about wealth so far, but I learned a lot about AI. The thing that it actually calmed me was that in our entire existence as a society, there's always been innovation. So you take the horse and then you have the car. Now, if Harrison Ford was like, Henry Ford. I was watching a show with Harrison Ford. If Henry Ford decided to create just like a faster horse, it really wouldn't change the game. He created something far better, which was the car. Then you have the steam engines going into the factories and the equipment replacing different people. Like every innovation helped create that industry to perform a little bit better and a little bit more. efficiently. Then you have newspapers. It no longer people are writing it, they're printing it. Like there's always been innovation as a society. And this, although much faster than what we've seen, is the next innovation. And historically, the companies that lean into innovation are the ones that are able to kind of grow.
See, the one thing I find interesting with AI,
we should tag Harrison Ford too.
We should. The one thing I find very interesting with AI, right, is you mentioned all these different industries, how they get better with time, right? AI impacts every industry. So that's where I'm curious to see where it's going to go, because you have these innovators that are trying to innovate their own specific world. And now they have this assisted living. See, now I'm starting to think of clients. This assisted person or assisted thing that can help them get there faster.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see where the world's going to be in. It's funny. It used to be like in 10 years, but now it's like I'm seeing 2 years.
I'm going to say 6 months, because last year we were having this podcast and I had asked Ben, our amazing videographer behind the scenes, do you feel like AI is cheating? Ben, do you remember I asked you that? Yeah. And he was like, it's not cheating. You have to use it in order to just keep up with competition. Now, I would have never asked that today, because AI is just like in everything that we do. It's in your GPS. It's in your, like, it's in everything. It's in my grocery app now, which is fantastic.
Literally, I know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I think that's an interesting question, though. Is it cheating, though? Because I just had an experience this past weekend. So I have a little side hustle that I do. And it's getting to the point now where I need help. So I'm trying to enlist my 16-year-old friends, or my son's 16-year-old friends, to do just kind of some of the grunt work. And one of the things that I wanted them to do was to create a resume, give it to me, and then I'm going to interview them just so they're prepared for life and how things are going to go. And it was very interesting because one of them was pushing back a little bit. And one of the people that was there listening to this, he goes, just use AI. And this younger woman says, I can't use AI. That's cheating. And I remember looking at her, I said, not for nothing, but if you're not using AI, you're already behind everybody else. And she looked at me and she was like, isn't it cheating? I go, no, it's just helping you get your thoughts in a proper way to present to somebody else. And so...
really well described.
Thanks.
Like, that was very well described.
Thanks.
What is next for Next on Scene? You have, I'm bringing it back to you here, because you have a magazine that you roll out how many times a year?
Just once now.
Once a year, and it's fantastic. You have your own podcast. Like, tell me about what is next for Next on Scene and bringing all these pieces together?
It's a great question, Alicia. I'm in a transition myself, honestly. I feel like I'm really trying to put more love into the media part of my business. So more love into finding advertisers for the magazine, advertisers for the podcast. Like, I'm really trying to, I still consult with clients and do PR. I'm way more selective of that now. But I think that's really, I'm going all in. I think that's where I'm spending a lot of my time.
I love that. That's awesome. I love the word transition, because every business goes through a transition. Every business owner goes through a transition. And it is really scary, especially when you've worked so hard to get to that moment, to then kind of say, like, what do I really love doing? What am I really good at doing? And so I commend you for that, because I can't wait to see what you create with that focus and passion.
Thank you. I think you guys get it, though. It's like the sweet sauce is like going all in on one thing. Like, it is. Like, I think that's what I've learned. Like, as somebody who has done so many things, like, it almost, especially with kids, like, it just leads to burnout. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't working for me anymore.
Yeah.
So I think that's why for me now, I'm just really trying to focus on one area of my business and going all in.
I love it. That's awesome. Where do you go to? You always ask this question. I'll let you ask this question. Go ahead.
Can you give me some direction in regards to where do you go? Where do you go for your groceries? Where do you go for gas?
Where do you go for your own continuing education, your own community sounding board?
That's a really good question. Lived experience. Like, I'm being honest. Like, I feel like I've done the master classes.
Yep.
I love finding mentors. Like, I don't even know where I found them. They fell into my, I was networking and they kind of just like life happened.
Yeah.
Because I found when I put too much effort into putting time and money into all these different things, it wasn't sticking for me anymore. It was good for a period of time. Loved working with coaches. So my latest thing actually is like spiritual work. Like I forever will put my time and money into spiritual work because I feel like are you guys spiritual at all or not really?
I am. I just did my first tarot card reading. Is
that's spiritual? Awesome.
That's spiritual.
Is it?
I feel
I would say it's a door opener, Chris. I would say it's a door opener.
Yeah.
All right. I think spiritual, I think religious. Like
sure.
I'm thinking different avenue. I'm thinking like psychics. I'm thinking like Reiki,
okay.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Like energy stuff.
I actually want to do a lot of research into energy and like people's energy. And because you can be with people and you can literally feel the energy like suck out of you, like the drainers. Yes. But then like if my husband puts his hand on my like arm, I all of a sudden feel like energy, like we call it butterflies, right? But there's like energy that passes from a person to a person. And I want to like dig into, this is going to be my next chat tonight, is just to understand like what is that energy force field that people have and how do you lean in or out of that, right? Like
what would be really good for you guys, like I just got Laura Macaron onto this when I saw her the other day. But like I think you guys, so human design, if you're not familiar with what it is, it tells you a lot about your personality type and how you interact with other people. So like there's a free thing. I'm going to send you guys a link after we chat. Okay. It's awesome. Like you're going to deep dive and be like, wow, like this is depicting, it's kind of like astrology. Like it tells you a little bit about like when you were born and like things that like happened when you were born, but it's more actually about your personality and like how you interact with other people. So that might be a really good place to start.
Yeah. That is really cool.
So were you asked that question more about spirit? So yes, in that case, I 100% am. And I've noticed over the past 10 years, I've not change who I am, but I do things differently now. So for example, like when I meet somebody, and this could be anybody, it could be my waiter, my waitress, whatever. I always ask for their name, right? So I always say, what's your name? I introduce myself, and you can just see having that one small little connection opens up the doors and lines of communication. And you can really just see these people. I've had unbelievable conversations with people, from great ones to ones that, hey, things aren't going so well in my life. And before you know, like you can ask my wife and my son, I drive them nuts because we're literally trying to go somewhere. And I just meet somebody and start talking to them. The next 10 minutes later, my wife's like, hey, like we got to go. And I was like, all right.
That's such not like a New Englander thing though. Yeah, like if somebody did that to me, I'd be like, eat it.
No, try it. I'm telling you, you think about it. we live in New England and you're 100%
I know.
right.
I'm just saying, I would be like, dude, I'm good.
But imagine if you didn't. And that's kind of the point that I'm saying is that we live around all these people. Like the one thing I will say about New England is that we are as brutal honest as you'll ever find. And a lot of times when you go elsewhere, they take it as we're being rude, but it's just who we are.
Totally.
So I always find it interesting, especially having those individuals that do have that blunt honesty, to see what happens when you just start having that conversation. I could do a whole podcast on this.
I'll be nicer to people.
No, you don't have to be nicer. Just talk.
I think you're way nicer than you think you are, Alicia. Like I don't see you turning people off. Like I don't see that, to be honest. So
you talk to everybody.
I do talk to everybody.
Exactly.
And it could be something that's even just like, and again, this could be a whole other podcast. We're going into a whole whirlwind of things, but every once in a while I'll hear somebody make a joke or a comment to a significant other, and I'll chime in. I'll be like, yeah, he's not wrong. And usually it's like him getting yelled at by something, and he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't know what you were talking about. And she's like, you should know. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of with him. Like, we're idiots sometimes. You just completely go right over our head. Anyway.
It's so funny.
Podcast for another day.
Yeah,
so that's awesome. You're spiritual. You're leaning into that. Where can people find and connect with you, read your magazine, listen to your podcast, and be a part of your own journey?
Awesome. Nextonscene.com is our website, and everything Next on Scene, Instagram, Facebook, all the things.
Awesome. I'm so excited, one, to follow your journey, and two, when we are ready for PR, to pull that lever and get to work and experience the Next on Scene.
I love this. I love your guys' thought leadership growth. I'm giving you that. Like, I'm loving this podcast concept. I'm very proud. So I just want to commend. I think it's amazing.
Thank you. People are like, why do you do this? I'm like, I'm gonna be honest. Chris and I talk to people all day. I do talk to people, right? I am nice. We talk to people all day, every day. And half the time we get off the call and then we call each other and we talk about that conversation. And I'm like, that was really cool. I wish we recorded that because other people would have benefited from that story or from that interaction. And then we just started being like, we should just record these.
Yeah. Which is kind of what we did with the Momentum Exchange, right? So we started these, so we were always having these conversations with individuals like yourself. And then it's like, man, so many other people can get so much value out of this. And that's where we started having the Momentum Exchange, sessions where literally people come in, give their spiel, have their problems, talked about. So it's just very interesting to kind of see, like, when you start having those individuals that are able to help each other, how everyone else around it really kind of benefits.
I love that concept too, because there's so much power in collaborating in the same industry. Like, people overlook that all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's plenty of business for everyone. Like, let's collaborate, let's brainstorm ideas. And there's just so much. Thank you for creating that, because I think there's a lot of value.
Yeah. Well, you came on one of the sessions, and I'll kind of wrap up with this, but like, you came on one of the sessions, and I don't even remember the issue that kind of came to the forefront in the conversation, but you were the only PR perspective on that call. So when I would provide a solution, I was strictly looking at it from a creative marketing. And then there was an AI specialist talking about how he would solve that problem using AI. And then you, from the PR perspective, was like, actually, have you thought about this? And that was so impactful, because that one problem now had like 5 different eyes on it for that individual to be like, okay, I know what I need to do from all of these different areas. And that never was available before, unless you asked on LinkedIn and someone was generous to write in a comment. So,
right.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, Jackie, you're amazing.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Alicia and Chris, you're amazing. Thank you for having me. This was awesome.
Absolutely. We'll have to do it again soon.
Yeah. Thank you all for listening. Follow Jackie, get her magazine, listen to her podcasts. Take it home, Chris.
Yeah. Take a look at the Momentum Exchange.
Yeah,
I'm going to keep doing shameless plugs with it. So, yeah.
As you should. Right? As you should.
Yeah. It's funny, when we developed this, it was really just kind of an idea to kind of help other marketers move the needle forward. And as we started kind of doing it, it started expanding more to PR, graphic design. And so when we really started thinking about this group, like, how can we help people? We didn't want to like generalize it into one little spot and want to kind of open up to everyone, but
all disciplines welcome.
Yeah, all disciplines welcome. So, I definitely want everyone to kind of check that piece of it out. You can find these podcasts on there, as well as a slew of other information that'll help you get from point A to point B with your marketing, or PR, or whatever else you need. So that's my spiel right there. But thank you everyone for joining us. We truly hope you guys appreciate it, and we'll catch you in the next time.